this is how to apply foundation to get the desired effect, whether if it's full coverage, sheer coverage, dewy coverage, whatever result you're trying to get. This is the proper way to apply foundation without looking cakey and accentuating the things that you don't want to accentuate. So I figure if I have to come on and get ready, let me come on and show you really quick. So if that's what you want to see, stick around and say hello when you're jumping on. Give me that 1 if you're here live and a 2 in the comments if you are a replay watcher. So I'm going to go real quick because most of you are going to be replay watchers. So what you're going to want, and say hi when you're jumping on. Hi, Dolores. I see you guys all getting on. I got a lot of guys on. So I guess the guys want to learn how to put on the foundation, or you just want to see my pretty face. Hello, hello. So what you want to do is get a damp sponge, okay? You want to run it under warm water, wring all the water out, and make sure it's nice and damp, okay? There shouldn't be water dripping out of it. And then what you want to do is you can use that first. If you're using a liquid foundation, just do that, okay? You'll put some on the back of your hand, dab it in, and you will blot it into your face with a damp sponge. Don't use it dry because you're gonna get a lot more coverage. And once you apply too much, it's so hard to reverse it and take it off, am I right? So what you wanna do is, if you're working with a cream foundation, like in a palette, I'm using a Pro foundation that is very full coverage, and I can get 5 different looks out of this foundation. I can get it to be a BB cream, a tinted moisturizer, a full coverage, a glowy look, whatever it is. That's what I love, being in control. Pro makeup artists normally like to work with products that they can get 5 different results out of rather than having 5 types of foundation. Does that make sense? So hey, hello, hi. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I want a sheer coverage. So I have my damp sponge, and this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take a pump of a good quality face oil, okay? Just a bead into that, and then I'm gonna swirl it around with my damp sponge. Make sure it's nice and loaded on the back. I wanna make sure I get it on there, nice twist. And then what you're gonna do is just start to dab, like see how I'm like doing like a bouncing and blotting, and already look at that gorgeous, gorgeous coverage. Now, if you're gonna work with a face oil, you want to not do it around the eye, because then what's gonna happen? You're gonna get creasing, and oil removes mascara and eyeliner. So you don't wanna end up having your mascara thinking, hey, I wanna come off, I wanna break down. So you leave that area alone. And what you do is do half of the face, because if you do the other half, it's not gonna be balanced with that same amount of oil. Does that make sense? Hi, Dolores. Yes, the lighting is great. I love my lighting. I love my lighting. So I'm gonna take one more bead and drop it into there. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want a glowy look. Do you see how, like, if I move my face, it looks very fresh, it looks very glowy. So again, I'm gonna work it into the sponge, and I'm gonna repeat the process. I'm gonna bounce. It's almost like bouncing and wiping. And I like to start in the flatter parts of the face. You would never start in the lines around the mouth or the folds. You don't start in the wrinkles. You start in the flatter parts of the face. And then the excess, you start bringing it around to the other parts of your face. Again, make sure you leave those raccoon or owl type circles around the eyes, because that's where you want to go in with a corrector, concealer, and all that good stuff. Then what you want to do is start wiping down like this down the neck, because you want to balance everything. And you know what else? Don't forget the ears. Bring it onto the ears, especially if you're working with a darker color. Now, little tip, did you know that the older that you're getting, like as you age, yellow base foundations are what complement mature skin. So you want to get yellow based products. So now what I just did was I turned my sponge to the side, because I don't want to add more foundation. I want to work it into my skin. So if you're getting cakiness or heaviness with your foundation, try this technique. You want to go turn the sponge to the clean side that has no makeup, and start to really press it and work it into the skin. That's what's going to make it look like second skin. That's what's going to make it push into the wrinkles. Good morning, Maria. And then the tapered end of the sponge will get into the areas of the nose and all those, like the lip lines. If you have lip lines, which I'm starting to get, listen, If I had slightly fuller lip on the top, I would get lip injections, but because I really love the look on other girls, on some girls, not the ones that overdo it. But I would look like somebody punched me dead in the mouth if I ever got that, because I never had a top lip. So unfortunately, I can't benefit from that. All right, so do you want to see the concealer application? Tell me yes down below. Otherwise, I will just show you how to set this part. So what I'm going to do is take the setting spray. So now what you want to do, now watch this. This is a trick. You don't want to just spray it all over your face, okay? Before going on to your makeup, it's okay to spray it onto your face when you're all done with your makeup. If you're done with your eyeshadow, blush, all of that, all of your powder products. But before moving on to those powder products, you want to spray your sponge, okay? Work it in. So Maria says, yes, please. And then you want to set it. This is really good if you want to really get it into the wrinkles so it's not caking up. So this is a really good tip. I know many people aren't doing this. Do the extra step. Take the extra time to do that, okay? So now I'm going to show you the right way to work with waterproof, highly concentrated wax concealers, okay? I'm so excited. I just got a fresh new palette. Love fresh new palettes. So nice and brand new. You got to love it. What you want to do is avoid doing this. Don't rub your finger in to your palette and to your concealer, because number one, you're going to get too much. And number two, you're not going to get precise placement, and you're contaminating your product, okay? So what you want to do is you can use the back of a mascara wand. I have a little spatula. You can use the back of your brush. And what I'm going to do is go into a number 3, which is a peach corrector. That's all you need, a teeny bit. Then you're going to warm it up just like this on the back of the fingers, because your body heat is what is going to get it to like liquefy or blend easier. So you really want to make that extra step. So now we just equally divided the product in half, okay? This is how you don't get out of control and apply too much and have creasing. So what I'm going to do with this corrector is I'm going to rub it right here in this area, because that's where I'm pink and purple. So see that already? Already we covered the circle or the puffiness, because I just want that peach corrector to take care of the dark inner socket and that pinky purple tone. That's it. I didn't bring it out here. Notice why I didn't put it anywhere there. Good morning, Nancy. I'm so happy that you caught me live. See, Maria, you're always learning. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cover the other side so you could see it happen right before your eyes. So I'm just lightly tapping it, not tapping it, I'm wiping it into that one area, and that's it. Now watch this. I'm going to wipe off the excess off my finger. Wipe it off. There's no more. Now you do a patting motion and really press it in. And again, staying in that area, but you're thinning it out and you're keeping it in its place. Okay? Would you say she looked on fast forward? I don't get it. I don't even know. Oh, am I like moving or something? All right, now I'm going to go into number 0 because I want to brighten. So I'm going to take number 0 and I'm going to apply that same exact way. Warm it up onto the finger so that it starts to thin out. And now what you're going to do is stay in this area on the inner part of the face. Do not, if you're older, do not do that big triangle. Okay, that's for the 25, 30, 18 to 25, 30-year-olds on Instagram. Okay. It is beautiful if you don't have crow's feet. So if you don't have crow's feet, go ahead and do it. But otherwise, the trick is to not go all the way up. You keep it in this area, then wipe off the excess, and then you can either take your sponge or a long-haired bristle brush, because a long-haired brush is going to give a airbrush effect. It's going to feather it out lightly without sliding too much product everywhere. So you want to keep it here and brightened. So I'm going to, with a very light touch, just blend it and smooth it out, and then you start to bring it up. You're bringing small amounts up to the cheekbone. Is that an aha moment? Tell me yes or no if you just learned something right there. So again, we're going to take the long feathered part of the brush and start to lightly airbrush it, bringing the excess out to the outer part of the eye, but keeping it in its spot right there. Now look how bright. Look how bright and healthy that is. You can even take the residue that's on the brush and now start to put it onto the eyelids so that you now are doubling it as a primer. Because this concealer is wax and waterproof and very highly pigmented, you can use it as your eyeshadow primer. Okay, so now you can even go back over with your finger, or you can even do the spray again at this point. Spray the tip of your sponge, really work it in. Say hello when you guys are jumping on. I love to know who's on here, and let me know if you're a replay watcher, give me that too. So now I'm taking the tip of the sponge and really working it into the under eye to set it. Now I'm just gonna set it and forget it. And then what you wanna do is lock it in. Lock it in so it doesn't move. Good morning, Deborah. Yeah, we're all getting old. So I have my tapered brush, and I'm gonna take some translucent setting powder because it's colorless and weightless. You don't wanna use a foundation powder or a compact, because then you're really gonna get heavy and you're gonna get creasing because you're just adding another form of foundation. Pressed powders that have color are just another form of foundation. So to me, you pick what you wanna use. You either use a liquid, or you use a cream, or you use a powder. Don't use all three together because you're just adding way too much product. Makeup should be applied to bring out your best features or enhance certain features and not cover up your entire face, okay? So now you take the translucent setting powder, and before you set it, already your makeup started to crease. Hi, Tanya. So what you wanna do is you look up, you take that finger, you re-tap it in, and then don't look down and just tap it in. That is a trick when I'm working on clients. I do this all the time because you get what's called rolling. As soon as your face is like blinking and making different motions, you'll already start to crease. So you have to look up, repress it in, and then get the powder in there. And then I only put it in this area and then the eyelids because I want to have everything else look kind of glowy. Another place I'll like to powder only is like the center of the forehead, like right there, and maybe a little bit of the nose, but not too much. I like to have that healthy, youthful glow. Then at that point, you can go ahead and set it. And then move on to your brows, your blush, your contouring, whatever you wanna do. I hope you learned something. I hope you learned a tip or a trick to mimic this. All you gotta do is you can get this type of palette. You can get your corrector, a brightener, and your foundation, and a sponge. Start off with that and you're good to go. And you will have control of the 5 different types of coverage that you want. If you need help getting color matched professionally, okay, then what you wanna do is private message me a picture of yourself wearing no makeup in front of a window, stand in front of a window so there's natural light on your face, snap a shot, and send it to my direct message. This way I can color match you and get you looking fresh and flawless like this. I love you guys. Have a blessed day. I will see you on the next live. I'm Candice Bertolini, and I'm your makeup fix. Bye.